So I bought this BMW F800R, brand new in 2015. And yeah, 11 years later, I'm still riding it. So, you know, thinking about it, would I consider buying this bike again today? Yeah, I definitely would. It's been this is my third motorcycle. It's my favorite motorcycle by far that I've had. So, you know, the biggest reason is reliable. It's never left me stranded on the side of the road. You know, when you're thinking about motorcycle, I think, you know, that's, for me, that's always worst case scenario. I've never been out on the side of the road because my chain broke, my tires are flat, you know, got a flat tire, you know, or any engine malfunctions, nothing like that. So it's never left me stranded. It's been extremely durable during the past 11 years. And kind of leading into that with maintenance. So maintenance, when I was gonna buy a BMW, some of my friends are like, oh, you know, you're gonna pay more initial cost, which you may pay a little more. So I paid a $10,000 initial cost when I bought this bike for an 800cc, almost 100 horsepower, and I probably could have got, you know, I'm pretty certain when I was looking at the time, I could have got a Kawasaki Ninja, more power, but it didn't matter to me. I just preferred the look of the BMW, knew about the reliability, and honestly, I've lived that for the past 11 years. So maintenance and another, besides the initial cost, which I didn't feel like was too extraordinary for 10 grand for this bike being brand new at the time, maintenance hasn't been anything extreme. It's been very minimal. So oil change, it'll be cheaper if you do it yourself, but I take it somewhere. It's like $80 to do oil change. And tires, that's a wear and tear item. Depends on how much you ride. My first year I rode this, I put 5,500 miles on it. No kids at the time, had a lot of miles. Now I think I only have 12,000 miles on it. I'm like, oh, that's not much at all, which isn't, but between kids after the first year, shoulder surgery, less than 2 weeks ago, I've had hip surgery, hip replacement surgery. So hopefully I get clearance from my doctor to actually start riding again in a couple months. So a lot of things reduced those miles, but 12,000 miles on it so far. First year, 5,500 miles. So that following year, I got new tires on, and that can fluctuate. I think that year it was like $800 for the two tires. A couple years ago, I went somewhere local, and it was like $600, I think, for the tires. And to me, that's reasonable. And like I said, that all depends. If you ride a lot, you're going to need those replaced every year. If you don't, you may maybe getting those replaced every couple of years or a few years. To me, very basic maintenance. And when you're talking, to me, you know, for us in the U.S., you know, it's a luxury item, and we can't complain about the maintenance costs necessarily on a luxury item because it's a luxury item. And obviously, it's a little bit different because I know some folks, especially in other countries, use it as their primary transportation, so it's not necessarily a luxury item in that case. So you are looking more at, okay, what's it going to cost as far as maintenance and things like that. But to me, very minimal maintenance. I spray the chain with lube every couple weeks, every week, depending on how much I ride. So that chain lube is very easy, very cheap. And then next would be battery. So I have replaced the battery a few times, and that's part of my own fault. I don't keep it hooked up to the battery tender. Here in central New York, store it in the garage during the winter, but I'm not good at keeping on the battery tender all the time. Last year I bought a battery for this. It cost, I believe it was $160 for a battery. So the batteries for motorcycles aren't cheap, and that's not going to vary really based just because it's a BMW. A battery is a motorcycle battery is a motorcycle battery. So batteries aren't cheap. So overall maintenance, nothing extraordinary. I feel like it's very reasonable. It's not going to be much higher or lower, even if you had a different, you know, not as, you know, to me as premium of a brand. I feel like BMW's a higher quality brand than what I've experienced. I had a great experience with my Kawasaki's, but completely different with the BMW. So some of the things I love about this motorcycle, kind of already talked about, the durability, the reliability, other things. It's just a fun bike to ride. It's light, and as far as motorcycle terms, it's a little over 400 pounds. You don't have to pick your ride modes. It's just jump on it and go. You can get luggage racks and all that stuff for this. I don't have that. It's just jump on it, cruise, and you can easily go for a couple 100-mile ride. No problems. If you're in the city, very maneuverable. No, it's not like a big bike where it's very reasonable in the cities as well. So I've just had overall great experience with it, all the positives. And with it being, you know, almost 100 horsepower, it's not a super bike. So like, you know, it's not a super bike. So you're looking for 150, 200 horsepower. This doesn't have it, but it's still extremely fast bike. You can get to 90 miles per hour in no time. Very capable keeping up with highway traffic, very capable in the city. So just a great overall, just a fun, easy bike to ride. And then probably my only negatives on it, and it's really not even a fair negative, because it's like saying you bought a motocross bike and you're riding around the road and you're saying it's not good. But this bike, if you're going to be going like from state to state, or you're just traveling long distances in a day, I'm going to do a 1,000-mile ride, that's going to be very difficult on this bike, especially if you're maintaining on the highway like 80 miles per hour. You're going to get a lot of vibrations. My hand falls asleep. There's no cruise control. That's going to be difficult without a lot of stops. I've ridden a few 100 miles in a day, no problem. But that's some stop and going, stopping at gas. And I've taken this on the highway for short distances, but I couldn't imagine doing that for hours, because it would. And on top of that, being a naked bike, you're getting hit with quite a bit of wind, because you don't have wind protection, so that you're going to be feeling that too. So that's probably the only thing I would say. But it's really not a bike for that. You know, if you're going to be traveling, you want to do 1,000 miles, 500 miles, whatever in a day, those long trips, I would recommend, you know, a bike that's made for that. And then, you know, my crosswinds and things like that as you ride. Fantastic bike. I'm going to definitely be sticking with BMW brand, just from how easy this bike has been to maintain, how reliable it's been throughout the 11 years I've ridden it. All right, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'll be posting her shortly, hopefully, once my doctor clears me, a first ride video back after hip replacement. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.